Did you really think I don't know what I'm going to do with my time? Well, but there is a lot of things I do with my time, and maybe you don't know what it is. But today I have a filled day, and sometimes my day runs over from the day before, from the things I ran out of time and was not able to get completed for one reason or another. So today, that's what I'm going to talk a little bit about. I hope that you like this video, and I hope that you'll subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. So here's the deal. My name is Michelle. I'm a mom of 12 amazing kids, and I always have so many things to do. Only 8 or 9 of them live here, and I'm about to have another one. But there's always something that I need to take care of that has to do with 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or all of them. So I just thought I would talk to you about that today. So here we go. What was I thinking having 12 kids? I'll just tell you what, it's not about that I thought I'd have all this time to myself, or I thought it'd be this hard, or that I was worried about it. I really just wanted to have that many kids so I could spend my life with them. But I had no idea how difficult it would be to have adult children, teenage children, kids in junior high and elementary, and then now another baby in the mix. Like, that's crazy. If you compare it to a church, that's a kid in every auxiliary of the church. So it's just like, well, I just am doing the best I can. I do it one day at a time. Yeah, I'm not as amazing as I thought I would be. It wasn't like I had this life plan exactly how to do it. I just knew it was something I was supposed to do, and I guess I just had to figure it out along the way. And so that's what I've been doing. But for now, let's talk about this morning, okay? My husband is a donut head sometimes. When he goes to work as a firefighter, he leaves as early as I leave to go take the boys to seminary. So I can hurry and make the bed, as soon as he gets up, pretty much, because he's not going to lay back down. But when he's been working construction this last week, he was working from 9 to 5. So I would already have 4 hours of work done before he would even have to be at work, which is just crazy because it messed up my routine as I would get up in the morning and I either make the bed and then go potty, or I go potty and then make the bed. But either way, the bed's made right first thing in the morning. But with him still sleeping in it, you can't make the bed. That doesn't make any sense, because then you only have half the bed made and he's probably going to mess it up anyhow. So I was having to do it after he left and I came home from my walk, but it made it more tempting to lay back down. So I don't know. But last night, so this morning I was able to get that done right away, and it was kind of fun to get back into that routine. It makes me remember how much I can get done in a shorter amount of time and how much better I feel once the bed is made. So if your bed isn't made, even if your room is a disaster, even if there's stuff piled all over your bed, just take it off, clear the bed, make it beautiful, because at least you have one welcoming space in your bedroom that just says, oh, come to me. But if it's a disaster, then you just are like, where can I curl up in this little ball? And I don't like my bed to be like that. So I hope you don't either, and that you find that tempting to do. I've done a video on making the bed before and why you should make the bed. And I'm going to post the link to that cute little video I watched about it that helped inspire me one time. But I also read a book about it. I read a book by Corrie ten Boom, and it was so crazy reading her book about just all the things that she had to do, and that I'll talk more about that later, because that's going to get me too emotional. I'm going to just skip on, okay? Sorry. So last night, my husband was a wiggle worm. Does your husband sleep peacefully? I like to just kind of lay in one spot and not move around a lot. But my husband is like a wiggle worm in bed. Oh my gosh, it was so annoying. It was like, went to bed at 10 o'clock and I woke up at 1:25. Again, I'm pregnant, had to go potty, right? So I went potty. And then I was able to go back to sleep less than 10 minutes later, and I slept till 3:40 in the morning. And at 3:40, my husband had to get up to go potty. And he doesn't really go back to sleep for a while after he does. So, of course, him getting up and because he moves the whole bed and he's bigger and he gets out of bed and then he bumps into things along the way because for some reason he doesn't know how to find it without bumping into stuff. Then he has to turn on the light because he wants to be able to see when he goes potty. And I'm just like, really? Then I'm fully awake, my brain's going, I'm ready to get started for the day, but it's only, 3:40 in the morning or 3:45. So it took a while for me to go back to sleep, and I was really nervous that that was all the sleep I was going to get, knowing that I had to get up at 5. But I was able to get back to sleep at, let's see, at about 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock, 4:05, something like that. So I was up for, a little bit, but I was scared it was going to take a long time. And then I went back to sleep from 4:05 to 5:15, and that worked out good, except I still didn't have enough sleep. And that's just the way it goes sometimes, right? So then I got to figure out a time that I can make up a nap or get a quick sleep in or something. But, what do you do when your partner is wiggly and makes it difficult for you to sleep? That's just one of those things that we have to do when we share our bed with our love. So, this channel is about me. It's about my life. It's about our kids. It's about whatever I can get caught on film in a short amount of time, because it is difficult just to keep up with it, let alone videotape it while it happens. Ladies who are able to do that, bless your hearts. I'm so impressed, because it is something I've tried to do and I fail miserably. So there you go. I am trying to be very transparent with you and very open with you, and just express everything that's going on that's pertinent that you might be interested in. There are some things like the drama I talked about and stuff. Sometimes to me, it's not really something I want to publicize. So I'll keep that a little bit private, just to keep my kids' lives private. I don't want to air out their dirty laundry per se. I don't care if you know mine, whatever. But that's what I try to do here. So, I did a science experiment on myself, okay? Twice, the same science experiment. About 2 years ago, I had gone in to see my OBGYN. I had told him that I had been battling with some depression and was having a really hard time, starting to get scary for me. So he wrote me a prescription for Prozac. And I have nothing against people who take Prozac, and I have nothing against doctors who write prescriptions for Prozac. And I have nothing against people who want to take Prozac. Just me, I'm very careful about what I put in my body, because I don't want to accidentally become drug dependent or be a different person because I'm taking drugs, or not be able to remember things because of it. And I just was really kind of leery of taking it. And I kept that in my wallet, and I decided to research a little and thought, is there natural ways to get rid of depression, more so than what I had worked on before, when I had more, when I had worked on it with, St. John's wort, or just good vitamins and nutrition and stuff. And it had talked about, on the links that I read on the internet, was that they did studies and found that the people who were regularly exercising, especially walking, if they would get 30 minutes of exercise a day over a long period of time, maybe they didn't feel it that day, the benefits, and maybe because it takes about a couple weeks to make the Prozac line up with your chemistry and get you all straightened out and whatever, and then you're kind of just using it for a long while until you can face things. Well, so I just tried to do this walking thing, and I started walking my kids to school and just walking a little extra after I dropped them off at school. And guess what? It really did start working, and it was helping. And then I got to a point where we moved and I wasn't walking them anymore. And I was like, well, maybe I don't need it anymore. I feel pretty good, and it's winter, blah, blah, blah. But then it came around where that was kind of a problem again for me this year. And I was just like, really? Here we go again. So I just put that back into action, and I was like, I don't want to have to take medication for that, especially when I'm pregnant. And I don't want to have to take medication for my blood, at least a lot of medication. I'll take that aspirin. That makes sense to me, the baby aspirin. But I just didn't want to complicate my body's situation and put more stress on my body trying to figure things out with my baby growing inside, right? So that's what I ended up doing, is just walking, and it is really making a difference. I've been doing it consistently for a couple of weeks now, and especially doing this morning early walk has just really been great for me, because I end up finished with my walk early, and I end up finished with everything I need to do for me personally before my kids are even awake. And that is pretty cool, that I'm taking care of myself, because that is not something we as moms do naturally. Sometimes we just get so caught up in our kids and our spouse that we forget to take care of ourselves, and it shows. We don't have any makeup on, we're wearing the same shirt we wore 3 days ago, it's just a big old floppy t-shirt, and we just don't put a lot of effort in. We haven't even brushed our hair, maybe still baby stuff stuck in it, or just in that same ponytail we always keep it in. And today I'm working with my day 4 hair. Yeah, it's not fancy. My husband's at work on the fire department. He'll be gone for 24 hours. So I don't really care if I don't look super hot or anything, but at least my hair is brushed, it's put back, my makeup's on, I'm dressed, new shirt. This October shirt is probably the last time I'll wear it, because October's gone and I just don't know how I feel about wearing it all year long. Maybe in the spring, because I like pink in the spring, but not so much for the fall and the winter. So that's my little tidbit there. So I just have loved walking, and how much better I feel, where I literally don't even have my feelings of any depression at all. And I think that's really cool, that just walking 30 to 45 minutes a day has made that difference. So I hope that that's something you're willing to try. Just do a little science experiment on yourself. It only takes a couple weeks to feel the effects of it. And if you haven't felt it even earlier, just depends on how off you are. But walk the dog, or take the kids on a walk, put your baby in a stroller, or just make yourself do it. I do it alone, and I just listen to my scriptures on my way. And boy, am I plowing through them even faster than I was when I was doing my makeup, listening to my scriptures, because I do it for a little bit longer. So I'm really cruising right along. And then the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was that, like I said earlier, there's a lot of chores that I had to do yesterday. And I kind of got stopped up in the laundry because the towels weren't quite dry when I thought they would be. They were on for an hour, but it wasn't quite enough. They needed a little bit longer. So that kind of backed up a couple loads, because the next load was also towels. And that doesn't normally happen. I don't know if I just washed a few extra. I think I found some in the kids' rooms and just tallied up to more than I'm normally doing. But they don't usually use that many. It's just that many had bogged up. So it just made it to where I was a little bit behind on laundry. So I have like 4 loads of laundry to do today. Big whoop, I don't care. It's just gonna set the timer every hour. I've already started a load. It's ready to change by now. So that's what I'll do, is just keep going on that. And then things like, I took down all the Halloween decorations and got them all ready, but I can't reach the box in the garage to put them back in. So I need my son, when he gets home from school, to grab that box for me so I can actually put away my Halloween decorations. But I did take, in the front yard I had 3 fat pumpkins, and I took, and which were fun for Halloween with all the other pumpkins lined up and the pumpkins in the tree and all that. But because I scaled back, like I said, and I took down all those jack-o'-lantern-y and holiday pumpkin things like that, but my 3 pumpkins, we didn't carve them into jack-o'-lanterns. We just left them as full-blown pumpkins. So I left the big fat one where it was at, and then the kind of bigger one I put on our kitchen table, and then the one that was a little bit lopsided I put in the chair. So it just looks more fall and welcoming, and it just makes me happy because it's just a little bit. So I hope you've done something to make your front door and your front entry, your porch, whatever, just so comfortable. It just makes such a difference. And then added on my list today, I need to run a couple of errands, including after I've called the airport, I need to find out how big of a suitcase I can actually take, like what's my measurements and how much is it going to cost, because then I think my husband and I are just going to buy the biggest suitcase we can and share, because there's no reason for us to have to each pay a fee if we could share a suitcase. So that's a little tricky thing I've got to do, and I got to run and see if I can find a suitcase to fit that's in my budget. And then I was able to get a lot of the kids' clothes washed yesterday. I'll finish those this morning, and that was the extra load I loaded today and started washing this morning. So I'll have all their clothes figured out today, and I'll just put their clothes that they're going to wear while I'm gone for a week so that they can easily get those. And then I'm going to put a couple things aside for our next trip so that those are already washed and I don't have to do that laundry when I get home. I'll have to do a lot of laundry when I come home from the second trip, but hey, you just juggle how you need to, right? And then to go and whose house they're going to stay at, and and how exactly that's going to work. So I'm really excited about that. And it just feels so much better as a mom when you know what's going on and you know where your kids are going to be and you don't have to worry about them. And then, let's see, no, you know, today is Friday, and today I try to get finished anything else that I was trying to do during the week to make sure that it happened, because I like to write a list of things I want to accomplish that week so that I can make sure that by Friday I have them done. That way I can play on Saturday. You know, we might do a chore or two early in the morning, but we like to be able to play and have our family fun day on Saturday. And I would really encourage that for you. If you don't know what you're going to do with your family on Saturday, always have that locked in your head by Friday of what you're going to do. You can get the kids to do a lot more chores and to be more excited just about life in general when they have something to look forward to the following day. So I really would encourage that. We have in the morning a day of service that we do in our community where everybody puts in so many service hours doing all different sorts of projects that are already lined out. And my family looks forward to doing that every year. So we're going to do that in the morning. There's a fall festival a little after that in our community where they just start having games and prizes and things for the kids to do, almost like a Halloween party, but it's called a fall party. And so we'll do that hopefully tomorrow. And then I also want to squeeze in a hike because the weather is so nice right now for hiking because it's just not too cold, not too warm. I mean, it was really windy earlier this week, but then it kind of died down and now it's just nice weather. So we're just working with the weather and whatever it will allow us to get away with. So just taking some time to get the kids out into nature so that they can explore and then they can have all their senses ignited and that they can smell the fresh air and see the birds and the animals, the critters that you find, and the trees and all the different kinds of varieties growing in their natural state. It's just such a good time for them. And then the little kids get to do some little challenging things when they crawl over a rock or hike up the mountain, you know, just at a little bit of an incline and then at that decline. Those are so good for their muscles and their legs, and it feels good to me too. So I'm really excited about that. And hopefully my husband doesn't have to work a mandatory tomorrow so that he can come with us because that'll make it super fun. But that's all I have for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope there was a lot of stuff that you were able to glean from, and if maybe there was something in there that you kind of been struggling with or that you've quit doing and maybe you're restarting and reigniting that excitement to do so that you can get your life in a better motion and a better plan. I hope that's what happens. I think it's so great. Or if you just laugh at me and all the things that I try to accomplish in one day, I mean, I still keep up with my routines, but then there's just things I personally want to take care of every day. So, you know, we'll just keep rolling with that as long as it works. So that's all I have for today. Have a great weekend. If you don't have something planned for tomorrow, please plan something with your family. Your kids will love it and it'll be a family tradition. They will look forward to it. It'll be wonderful. So take care. It was good to see you. Love y'alls. Take care. Bye-bye. I can't get it too close.